Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Got to play Cabot Citrus Farms the other day. I love golf. I love good golf courses. I know lots of you love golf and love good golf courses. Thought I'd do something a little different and give you a little bit of insight in how I'm looking at a golf course, sort of what I liked, what I didn't like, and the overall experience of going to Cabot Citrus Farms, from pulling in to warming up to the first tee, and then a couple highlights throughout the round. My take on it, my first course review. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want more of this, let me know. Obviously, I love playing good golf courses. I haven't been this excited in a long time to go play a golf course. So super excited to share the feedback with you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, the Cabot experience. So looking at what happens when you first get there, you turn in and you got this beautiful driveway that you get to roll into here. Looks, obviously the property was rural woods before, so it has some nice mature trees. Really great entrance, and definitely get you amped up to check it out. Did the check-in, then headed over to the practice facility where they have the TrackMan range, which I love. Music playing, nice mats, nice range balls, lots of space to hit. Makes it a lot more fun when you're looking at you know, the warm-up and the overall place. Like, the practice facility was definitely not a letdown. I'm just going through sort of my normal warm-up here, hitting some like soft wedges, and then I progress into longer clubs here as I keep going. So let's see. So I'm just picking different targets. It's cool, on the computer you actually can select like what pin you're aiming at, and then you can get some rough numbers of carry distance. It was actually pretty cold in the morning, so it was carrying slightly less. Did this one, just thought it was a cool view. Take a different look at what the ball flight would look like from that angle. Driver, I'm going full Cameron Young here in my warm-up, just working on my rhythm, and a couple things in the top of backswing. So that's my just grooving it, getting ready to go. And then after driver, headed over to hit one more here, I think. Let's see what I got next. I think I go to the putting green. Yeah, putting green and short game area. So when I'm over, this is actually just beside the range. So you sort of walk up this little hill, and then you got this beautiful, massive putting green that is right beside the range, so you sort of get the same type of view. Lots of different slopes, lots of different, you know, places to chip from and putt from. Lots of space. You can see those huge mounds in the green. You get a bit of that out on the course too. I always like looking at the site map. I think it's interesting to see how they do like the routing for the course. I find it really cool when you look at Carew here, you know, basically everything's really side by side there for a fair amount of the round. But when you're out there playing, you don't really notice it. Like, you know there's holes that are adjacent to each other, but it doesn't really feel like you're ever, you know, right on top of another hole. Just another look at the site map, and then this is the back of the scorecard here. Course rating from the black tee, 75.7, slope 142, and then you sort of get a range of holes, a couple of short par fours, a couple long par threes, a couple of short par fives, a couple of long par fours, right? So a huge mix, and then off to the first tee. So I think this is part of what makes a golf course, you know, sort of what's your first impression when you walk to the first tee. Lots to look at to me. You know, you got the bunkering, you got a little bit of fairway right and left, and then you see that little runway up to the green. Here's the opening tee shot I hit. Little smooth one out there, down that left fairway. Here's just a different angle. And then left me with, had an 8-iron into this hole, and it's sort of uphill, side hill lie, ended up hitting it, whatever, 30, 40 feet left of the hole. Here's the first So you actually run by this comfort station 5 or 6 times. Amazing little cabin. I think that's sort of, you know, to me, some of the high-end places I've been, like the comfort stations sort of make it even more impressive when you go in there, and it's a nice spot to, you know, grab something to drink and some food. Long first putt here up the hill. You can see, you know, the place is pretty new, so the greens were, I would say, relatively good. A little bit bumpy, but not too bad. And then was able to make that one for starting off with a par is always a good thing. So this is a little bit of what you sort of see from above when we look at the yardage book here. So most of the holes, you're going to see that waste area on the sides of the fairway, and then bunkering sort of throughout the hole, some of them more penalizing than others. So this was a beast of a hole, par 4, 522 from the back tees. Tee shot's running downhill, so it doesn't play quite as long, but I still ended up with, I think I hit a 4-iron into this green. You can see I'm on the left side of the fairway off a little downslope. I actually ripped this one with a little draw to get it just over the back here, and then hit this chip down the hill. Ended up missing this putt, but it's still, you can see behind the green there, obviously a little bit of maintenance stuff that they're working on, but overall, like, course condition was still relatively good for a brand new course. And then you can get a taste of some of the variety here. So we go on to the third hole. It is a beast from the back tees, 292 par 3. Visually, pretty intimidating kind of tee shot here. So you're sort of looking at the green there is on the left over that bunker, and then you have a bit of a runway off the right side. Like if you hit one up on the hill, it almost can bounce down. So that's a really challenging hole, the third hole. Fourth hole, here's that variety. So super challenging third. Fourth hole's 511, short-ish par 5. The view from the tee is like this. So it's sort of same thing. You got the waist area, you got a lot of bunkering, you got a lot of open fairway. So nice visual there. Ninth hole, running back up the hill. So I sort of did my best to highlight some of the holes throughout both nines here. So the ninth hole, a short-ish par 4, 421, but it actually plays quite a bit longer because it was up the hill. And I felt like I hit a great tee shot, and I still had probably just a little over 100 yards in, and I hit it, I roasted it. So here's my approach into this. I sort of say after this shot, like, you hit a good shot, it's hard to know if it's going to turn out good just because of the way the slopes are, but that sort of makes it even a little bit more fun because you feel like, okay, I hit a good one, let's go up there and see how it panned out. This is right after a good par 5, so you can sort of see this par 4. It's a shortish par 4. I was able to hit one up by the green, but again, like the bunkering, you can see like it's basically green and then everything else is bunker. So it definitely can penalize you if you hit one offline. If you hit one close to the green, you got a chance to make birdie on that hole. Here's sort of panning back to the tee. You can see lots of sand, and then you got the sort of cutout of the fairway. Some nice trees. This hole is actually similar to the hole that used to be there when it was Pine Barrens and Whirl Woods. I remember playing that hole once. 17th hole, par 5 up the hill. I was feeling ready to smoke one, so I hit that one pretty far up there, just down the right side. So this is sort of what that looked like from the other view, the tee shot I just hit here. So 17 going up the hill. Again, lots of bunkering, lots of open space, but if you sort of get yourself in the wrong spot, it can be quite fun trying to be creative and getting it up to give yourself a chance for a birdie or par. So here is the tee shot on 18. So 18, again, like the rest of the round, you know, you got a little bit of definition to the hole, and then lots of bunkering, lots of sand, beautiful trees, and it sort of makes it very like player friendly. Rating. Okay, so when I'm going through my rating here, excitement going into the round, for me it was a 5 out of 5. Like I had read a lot about it. I've been to the other Cabot property in Nova Scotia, played the Cliffs and the links up there, so I was hopeful that the golf experience would be similar, and it definitely was unbelievable. So excitement going in, I was 5 out of 5. Vibe. So that's something that like typically I pay attention to a lot when I'm going to a place. Like, what's it feel like when you get there? What's the energy around the place? And overall, like, I would just, vibe wise, like, what's it feel like when you're on the property, when you're playing, when you finish, like, how did you feel? I rated that a 5 out of 5 because to me it was like mind blowing. Course layout, I loved it. I felt like it, every hole was fun, had a different feel. So course layout, I gave it a 4 out of 5. There was a couple holes, like I would say, started off like the whole front 9 I loved. 10, 11 were sort of, to me, slightly weaker holes compared to the rest of the course. And then it sort of ramped back up for the rest of the back 9. So that was just my view. I felt like there was just a small letdown after 9, but it sort of picked back up there at the end of the round. Fun level, 5 out of 5. Would definitely recommend going there. Experience was insane, and tons of fun. Challenge level, so length of course and the greens, basically, to me, was where the challenge was, right? So tee shot wise, the whole day super fair. You're gonna find your ball basically on every hole for the most part. It gets a little trickier if you're trying to, score around the greens. The greens are massive. Putting makes it very tricky, and then just, navigating those fairway bunkers. Course condition, obviously it's brand new, so I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Just because it's so new, there's obviously spots there that still need to grow. I think that's probably within the next 3 months, it's going to be incredible. One of the things that I always pay attention to is, even if it's a public course, private course, I go, I play, and I say, would I join this place? Like, would I pay the fee to be a member if they had a membership option, which I definitely would, because I think every time you would play this property, you'd have a different kind of experience. The tees, there's lots of different tee boxes to play from. Greens are massive, so the pins would be, I'm sure, different every day. So depending on where the pins are, front, back, like the hole would play quite different. Experience, 5 out of 5 for sure. Loved every second of it. Staff friendliness, like, obviously you go to a place and, one unhappy staff member, you can have that experience that sort of can wreck that type of experience. I would say friendliness of staff was like through the roof. Super kind people. Basically from right when you pulled up to the gate, bag drop, pro shop, on course comfort station, everyone was incredibly kind and nice and excited for us to be there, which I loved. So there's a couple other spots that I've been to resort-wise that you don't quite get that same feel to me around here, but I was blown away there. Playing ability for all levels. So this one was cool because it was with my mom, my dad, and then another pro that I coach with, and had a super big variety of distances you could play from. So it was nice because it was super fair for my mom, who was a shorter hitter, and then a little bit more challenging for us when you stretch it all the way out to the back. And then my dad was sort of right there in the middle, and we all sort of found the yardages, and the way the hole's set up, like super fun to play. So there's my overall rating. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wanted to give you a little bit different look of what it's, what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the golf course. I love, different architecture and experiences when you go. And that's my take on Cabot Citrus Farms. Definitely blown away by that property. Have a great day, guys.